Tonight, the air quality concerns for millions of Americans also breaking what ABC News has just learned involving Jeffrey Epstein co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell. What she allegedly just told the Justice Department involving President Trump. And the breaking headline tonight involving legendary director Francis Ford Coppola. First, the images from Chicago to Detroit, New York to Boston. The dangerous air quality for millions of Americans. Hundreds of Canadian wildfires filling U.S. skies with smoke. New York City's air quality now ranking among the top 10 worst in the world. And the wildfires in the West tonight, new images of families getting out. Ginger Z is here. Also tonight, sources now telling ABC News about what Jeffrey Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, said during her 2 days of meetings with the Justice Department and what she said about President Trump. And tonight, the president is asked about what happened just days after that meeting. Ghislaine Maxwell transferred from federal prison in Florida to a minimum security camp in Texas. Also tonight, under arrest, the man accused of killing a family of 4 and abducting their baby, then abandoning that baby. What authorities are now saying tonight about the arrest and the condition of the baby. Tonight, the scathing new Coast Guard findings about the Titan submersible tragedy. 5 lives lost trying to explore the Titanic and what's now been revealed. The showdown in Texas. Tonight, President Trump saying Republicans are, quote, entitled to those seats, citing his victory in that state. Democrats trying to keep this from happening. Congressional maps are generally tied to the census. In New York City, a deadly outbreak of Legionnaires disease tonight. At least 3 patients have now died. Many more sickened. What causes this? News tonight about Oscar-winning director Francis Ford Coppola in the hospital. The cause of death now revealed for Ozzy Osbourne. Tonight, Robin Roberts face-to-face with endangered mountain gorillas and the tense moments. Tonight here, the effort to save the endangered animals. And in New York City and New Jersey, for the second time in 3 days, a small earthquake rattling the region.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. We begin tonight here with the air quality concerns spreading. New York City now joining Detroit and Chicago for much of this day. All 3 cities among the top 10 with the worst air quality in the world. Smoke from Canadian wildfires hovering over much of the U.S. tonight. Millions of Americans on alert right now in 13 states from Minnesota to New York to New Hampshire. More than 700 wildfires in Canada, and in the West at this hour, the critical fire danger there. Major wildfires already burning. The dangerous air, those hazy skies bringing real air quality concerns across the country, from Las Vegas to Denver, where they had to slow down flights coming in and out of Denver because of poor visibility. From Chicago to Detroit, New York City to Boston. Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z is here with the forecast, and Stephanie Ramos with the images tonight and the health concerns. Stephanie leading us off.
Tonight, smoke from hundreds of wildfires in Canada and dozens right here in the U.S., making the air hard to breathe. The New York City area blanketed in a thick haze at noon, the air quality among the top 10 worst in the world.
The AQI, the air quality index in the city, is 123. That is unhealthy for sensitive groups.
It's especially hard for people who already have trouble breathing.
I always recommend my asthmatics to carry their albuterol pump when the air quality is bad and to have it on them because it can happen at any moment.
Doctors say no matter your health, you need to be careful. Detroit breaking the top 10 again today. Officials there calling on Canada to do more to deal with their more than 700 wildfires that are causing problems from Buffalo to Burlington and Boston.
The smoke from the Canadian wildfires was so bad at one point here in Boston, there was a ground stop of planes here at Logan Airport.
Meanwhile, the western U.S. has wildfires and air quality problems of its own. Low visibility forcing Denver's airport to slow departures and arrivals for a time. And in Riverside County, California, the Rosa Fire burning southeast of Los Angeles, one of multiple raging in the Golden State. Rebecca Shaves shot this video as she escaped the Gifford Fire north of Santa Barbara Saturday. That fire now more than 125 square miles.
And David, you can see just how hazy New York City looks behind me. We can expect at least one more day of these conditions. David.
Stephanie Ramos with the view there from New Jersey, looking right over Manhattan. Steph, thank you. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z tracking it all again tonight for us. Hi, Ginger.
Hi, David. We've got those smoky skies over the Hudson River here in New York, too, and that air quality in that 126 category. So unhealthy for sensitive groups. Let's dive in and see who else is included. Philadelphia, back up to Syracuse, Buffalo, New Hampshire, down to Detroit, Cleveland, and Fort Wayne, Green Bay. Doing this for like day 4 or 5. Some people in the Great Lakes are on nearly a week. And we're going to see this move. That easterly wind will push the smoke tomorrow close to New York and almost out of here by tomorrow night. But look where it starts to move into. Delaware, the Poconos, the Catskills are going to be seeing it really thick. And then check it out. Washington, D.C. By Thursday morning, it's moving just west of you. Extreme heat warnings up in the southwest. Some red flag warnings with really low humidities. And a quick look at the Atlantic. You know it is heating up. We're watching for the next named storm, David, which would be Aaron.
Ginger Z with us again tonight. Ginger, thank you. Now to the Jeffrey Epstein case. And tonight, what sources are now telling ABC News about what Jeffrey Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, said during her 2 days of recent meetings with the Justice Department. What she said about President Trump. And tonight, the president has now been asked about what happened just days after that meeting. Ghislaine Maxwell was transferred from federal prison in Florida to a minimum security camp in Texas. Here's Aaron Katersky.
Tonight, less than 2 weeks after the unusual meeting between the country's second highest law enforcement official and Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator, sources tell ABC News Ghislaine Maxwell said nothing in those 2 days that would harm President Trump. Maxwell, convicted of sex trafficking, is serving a 20-year prison sentence. And during this meeting with the Justice Department, sources familiar with its contents say she told Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, who until recently was Trump's personal attorney, that Trump did nothing in her presence that would have caused her concern. In the week and a half since that unusual meeting, Maxwell has been moved from a federal prison in Florida to a minimum security camp for women in Texas, a rare move for a convicted sex offender. Late today, President Trump was asked if he authorized transferring Maxwell from that prison to a minimum security camp with more favorable conditions, including fewer guards and limited fencing.
Todd Blanche is one of the most highly respected people you'll ever meet. So I know this. I didn't discuss it with him, but anything he talked about with her or the fact that he did that, not unusual, number one, and most importantly is something that would be totally above board.
Tonight, sources also tell ABC News the Justice Department is now considering releasing a transcript of the 9-hour conversation during which her attorney said Maxwell was asked about 100 different people associated with Epstein. I asked Maxwell's attorney if she's simply telling the Justice Department what it wants to hear.
Does she have an incentive to just tell the Deputy Attorney General what he wants to hear?
No, because she wants to tell the truth.
And tonight, David, the Republican-led House Oversight Committee is issuing subpoenas to the Justice Department, to former President Bill Clinton, and to other former government officials inquiring about the Epstein files, keeping alive a controversy President Trump has tried to end. David?
Aaron Katersky tonight. Aaron, thank you. Next tonight to a gruesome case that's making national news. Tonight, news of an arrest here. The suspect accused of killing a family of 4 and then abducting and then abandoning their baby. The arrest nearly after a week on the run, and he has been seen on this security camera. Tonight, what authorities are saying about the condition of the baby, and here's Trevor Ault.
After an intense 6-day manhunt, tonight authorities have arrested the suspect accused of murdering a Tennessee family of 4 and kidnapping then abandoning their infant.
He thought he could outrun us, but he was wrong.
Investigators sharing these images of Austin Drummond dripping with sweat shortly after he was captured in the woods of Jackson this morning. He was spotted overnight staying in a vacant building. Surveillance video showing him armed with a black rifle dressed in camouflage. Authorities say the suspect knew the victims, but they're still investigating a motive.
The suspect's girlfriend is the sister of a victim.
And tonight in Montana, the search for a gunman in a separate shooting is still ongoing. Authorities say Michael Paul Brown was last spotted Friday fleeing the scene of Owl Bar after allegedly gunning down 4 people.
He was able to escape and get up in the mountains. We are absolutely operating under the assumption that he is armed and extremely dangerous.
The town of Anaconda still on edge as they grieve.
And David, we've learned the brother of that Montana suspect is serving a life sentence himself for a fatal stabbing in that same town. And in Tennessee, officials there say that baby, which had been abandoned, is safe and healthy. David?
Trevor Ault with us here tonight. Trevor, thank you. Tonight, the new findings from the Coast Guard on that catastrophic implosion of the Titan submersible. People all over the world will remember holding out hope for those 5 people on board who were trying to make it to the Titanic, the accident killing those 5 people on their deep-sea voyage. Tonight, Coast Guard investigators are now laying much of the blame on the company's CEO, saying he ignored repeated warnings. Here's Gio Benitez.
More than 2 years after the Titan submersible imploded on its way down to the Titanic, killing all 5 on board, the Coast Guard's final report blaming the disaster squarely on OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush. Investigators say if he had survived the disaster, they would have recommended manslaughter charges.
I'd like to be remembered as an innovator. One button.
Rush famously bragged about breaking the rules as he built his sub out of experimental materials.
The carbon fiber and titanium, there's a rule you don't do that. Well, I did.
Members of Rush's team testified they repeatedly warned him of the dangers.
He wanted me to be the pilot that runs the Titanic missions, and I told him I'm not getting in it.
The report found Rush threatened whistleblowers and ignored and concealed safety concerns as the Titan's hull grew weaker with each dive.
It was actually predictable that the hull was experiencing damage that was cumulative and eventually would fail.
Everyone on board died, one crew member breaking down as she remembered the passengers' excitement right before that doomed dive.
They were just very happy to go. And that's the memory I have. Nobody was really nervous. They were excited about what they're going to see.
And David, tonight we're hearing from the Daoud family who lost their father and 19-year-old son. They say no report can alter the heartbreaking outcome, but if this leads to regulatory change, that will bring them some peace. David.
Gio Benitez with us tonight. Gio, thank you. Now to the showdown in Texas. Late today, President Trump saying Republicans are, quote, entitled to those additional seats, citing his victory in that state. Democratic lawmakers fleeing the state trying to keep this from happening. Congressional maps being redrawn are generally tied to the census. Here's our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce.
Tonight, as the battle over the Texas congressional map rages on, President Trump now arguing Republicans are entitled to 5 more House seats there because he won the state.
I won Texas. I got the highest vote in the history of Texas, as you probably know. And we are entitled to 5 more seats.
But the congressional map is not tied to presidential races. It's historically tied to the once-a-decade census. Republicans and Democrats have used redistricting to their advantage before. But tonight, well aware of Republicans' narrow margin in Congress and the midterms approaching, President Trump is now saying, quite simply, Republicans are entitled to more seats. But that can't happen without Democrats present, and dozens have fled the state. Today, Texas Republican Senator John Cornyn calling on the FBI to help bring them back and arrest them. I asked the president if he supports that idea.
Do you want the federal government and the FBI to help locate and arrest these Texas Democrats who have left the state?
Well, I think they've abandoned the state.
Should the FBI get involved?
Well, they may have to. They may have to. No, I know they want them back. Not only the Attorney General, the governor wants them back. You can't just sit it out. You have to go back. You have to fight it out. That's what elections are all about.
Meantime, with Congress on break, Republicans back in their home districts facing heat. In Nebraska, Congressman Mike Flood getting an earful. Booed for his support for Trump's massive tax and spending bill.
Why does it seem like when you make your voting decisions, they're based on capital rather than the working class?
With all due respect, sir, the Republican Party, now more than ever, represents the heart and soul of the working class.
After 90 contentious minutes, the town hall ending with chants of vote him out.
Thank you very much, and have a safe drive home.
And tonight, former President Obama is now weighing in on the Texas fight, posting, quote, "We can't lose focus on what matters. Right now, Republicans in Texas are trying to gerrymander district lines to unfairly win 5 seats in next year's midterm elections, saying this is a power grab that undermines our democracy." David.
Mary Bruce live at the White House tonight. Mary, thank you. Overseas tonight, devastating images coming in of deadly flash flooding in a Himalayan mountain town. Look at this, northern India tonight. Videos circulating online showing the moment a torrent of rain and mud brings down the hillside, slamming the village, killing at least 4 people, at least 50 others missing tonight. Disaster response teams, including soldiers, rescuing many who were trapped. The town tonight has now been cut in 2, many homes buried in mud. right up to their rooftops there. When we come back tonight in New York City, a deadly outbreak of Legionnaires disease. We have just learned a third patient has now died, many more sickened. What causes this? There's also breaking news. There's been a deadly crash involving a medical plane, what we've learned tonight. And there's news coming in this evening about legendary director Francis Ford Coppola and his health. He directed, of course, The Godfather and many other movies. The latest on his condition right after the break here. Tonight, there's been a deadly crash involving a medical transport plane in northeast Arizona. The Navajo Police Department says 4 people on board the plane were killed. The plane going down on the Navajo Nation. It was on its way to pick up a patient at a nearby hospital. In New York City, a deadly outbreak of Legionnaires disease. We have just learned at least 3 patients have now died, nearly 60 cases reported. The cluster breaking out in Harlem. Legionnaires is a severe form of pneumonia caused by bacteria. The outbreak traced to 11 cooling towers in central Harlem. Authorities say they've now been cleaned. For the second time in 3 days, a small earthquake hitting northern New Jersey and rattling parts of New York City. The magnitude 2.7 quake near Hillsdale, New Jersey, a magnitude 3.0 quake hitting Hasbrook Heights, New Jersey, Saturday night. When we come back, there's news coming in on legendary director Francis Ford Coppola in the hospital and Ozzy Osbourne's cause of death revealed tonight. To the Index, Oscar-winning director Francis Ford Coppola, behind The Godfather and so many others, is in the hospital in Italy after appearing at a film festival there. He reportedly underwent scheduled heart surgery and is now under observation. There had been some reporting he had mild cardiac arrhythmia before the operation. Tonight, a spokesperson now saying he's resting nicely. He's 86 years old. Ozzy Osbourne's cause of death has been made public tonight. His death certificate shows he died of a heart attack. It also shows he suffered from Parkinson's and coronary heart disease. The document lists his occupation, by the way, as songwriter, performer, and rock legend. When we come back here tonight, Robin Roberts face-to-face with endangered mountain gorillas and some tense moments, you'll see them, and the extraordinary effort to save the animals. Finally tonight, Robin Roberts on a remarkable journey in Rwanda, the effort to save endangered mountain gorillas, and what she witnessed just a few feet away.
I'm in Volcanoes National Park, making my way through the dense brush and up steep ravines on a once-in-a-lifetime trek to catch a glimpse of one of this area's most esteemed and beloved creatures, the endangered mountain gorilla. My trek guide, Prosper, showing me dormant volcanoes in the distance and rolling hillsides.
It's beautiful, beautiful.
And we find what we were looking for.
That's the mother with the baby. And they don't mind that we're here? No, they know why we are here. We are here to protect them. It's hard to put into words being this close in their habitat. They're right there. They're right there.
Oh, but then we get a surprise.
So we have one behind us. So let's see him coming.
A 5-year-old juvenile coming to check us out. A tense moment, but we try to remain calm.
It's okay. He is...
Prosper making a grunting sound to let him know we're not a threat. I'm stiff as a board.
No, it's okay, it's okay.
Then another mother, this one giving her 9-month-old baby a piggyback ride.
See, she has the baby on her back.
Baby on the back.
Yeah.
You see that? Another catches on.
I know I'm growing up, but I still want to be on your back. And the mother is okay.
Trekking through the rainforest to these animals has sparked a tourism boom, and those tourists, largely American, help finance gorilla conservation efforts.
Back in 1985, we had a little less than 250 of them. Then we moved to 2021. They became over 1,000.
10% of the tourism revenue here goes back into the community, from schools to paving roads.
So today you have a model where the communities and the gorillas will be able to coexist.
We follow the family deeper into the forest. High above us, his name is Marambo.
Hello, Marambo. Nice to meet you. It's almost like it's not real. That's the father. That's the one they were all coming up to see, and we followed. And it was worth it.
Remarkable effort in Rwanda. Our thanks to Robin. She'll be here first thing in the morning with the team at Good Morning America. I'm David Muir. I'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Good night.
the most watched newscast in America. And now, ABC's World News Tonight has won the Emmy for Best Live News Program for the third year in a row.